Let's do it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. And in studio with me, my main man, Jamie Algel.
What is crack-a-lackin' hump day?
Man, hey, it's hump day?
It's hump day all day and part of the night.
Man, that is great,
You can hear me in them there headphones there, boss?
I
You
can't.
can hear me?
Now, can you turn them down?
Oh, man. Let me know. Testing 1, 2, 3.
No, you're good.
All
You're
right.
good. Oh, the folks. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, again. Oh, my goodness. San Diego's up by 1 run. It's all right, though, guys. All right, so we're broadcasting
Early,
live.
top of the fourth, man.
Yeah, man. We're broadcasting live from the K-Pel Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live, let me get it over here, from rumble.com. Go check us out. I see you guys over there. Thank y'all for joining us. Give us a little follow, but you don't have to, but we do want to see you over there.
No, you gotta.
You got
gotta.
Giving away something this week.
That's right. Doing another flag kit and some more Josh Guillory show swag.
I love that.
But you got to go on Rumble, give us a like and a follow and all that good stuff. And we have a little, we might get a little froggy this Friday.
I wanted to do two.
We might.
Hey!
Maybe we'll do something tomorrow. I don't know.
Ooh, I like that. Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe. All right. I like that. I like it.
Hey, and happy hump day to our friends at 2 Live Crew. Happy hump day.
Absolutely. Let's dive right in. Okay, so little state news here in the great state of Louisiana. Planned Parenthood. Remember those guys?
Hard to forget.
Yeah. So Planned Parenthood, Sydney, our friend over here at Town Square, she's over at Hot 107.9. You guys might remember Sid. She comes on the show every once in a while. Well, she wrote a good little article for KPEL, actually. And she's reporting that Planned Parenthood has officially shut down in Louisiana after 40 years. See you later.
Adios.
That's 40 years too long.
Now, let's just make sure the folks know that they were not providing abortions and such. But, yeah.
Okay, so we support another function that allows them to kill babies elsewhere.
I think that's a decision for people to make with their doctors and not at some rando clinic. So, good riddance.
Not at Planned Parenthood for sure. Who does the baby go get to see? Does anybody ask that? Who does the baby get to go have his or her voice to about the abortion? Whoever asked them anything? Oh wait, they can't talk, and they're actually someone's entrusted with that life. Oh yeah, who is that? Who could that be? Oh yeah, the mom. Okay, for some months. Then the mom and dad, but even the dad. So parents. But who's speaking for the little baby? Just curious. Hey guys, I have something to say about it. Just curious.
Hey, you seen them AI videos of the babies talk? You saw the little moon griffin?
Oh no,
Yeah.
I gotta go check that
I love
out.
those when they take a older and they make them into baby shape.
Oh,
But it's like your voice. I'm gonna try to do one with you.
oh Lord.
I don't know how that baby would look with that beard.
Oh,
though.
that poor baby. Poor
Oh.
child.
I bet.
Man, so just want to tell the folks, so that's a little hot off the press there. So as of yesterday, both centers in the state have closed their doors, and they announced this back in August. So no more Planned Parenthood in Louisiana. 40 years too long. But thanks for the update, Sid. Appreciate that.
Thanks for the memories.
Now, let's go into the topic of the day. I think this is the topic of the day. It's kind of getting a little silly. Shutdown. All right. Now, I'm going to try to go at this at a different angle than most folks, but we'll talk about what the shutdown is. What does that mean? All that good stuff.
Wait, it actually happened? The government shut down right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The world is still spinning.
I had no...
The world is still spinning on its axis. Can
Well,
y'all
daggone.
imagine that? Jeez.
Roads still getting paid?
Yeah.
And the police still out there?
Did you know that?
Huh.
Now, federal government shutdown. Now, again, this is after Congress has failed to pass a funding bill before today's deadline, October 1st. Here's the situation, okay? Each year, Congress has to approve, or supposed to approve, approve spending, okay? Or at least pass some kind of like sharp-term extension. See what I'm saying? This time, House Republicans actually did that. They passed a clean bill to keep the government funded through November 21st. Breathe a little bit, figure this out. Now, you can ask fairly, well, what the heck have y'all been doing? But hey, whatever. Okay.
That's all they ever do.
Democrats said no.
Oh, no. Not without the PBS.
Sugar bee, everybody. Insisting on permanent Obamacare tax credits, Obamacare expansions, and other priorities those interested on the left would be excited about. About 750,000 federal workers could be furloughed. Essential services, which, why does government have non-essential services? Anybody ever asked that? About 750,000 of these federal workers could be furloughed. So essential services, though, military, law enforcement, border security, border protection, TSA, air traffic control. I'm sure I'm missing some. They stay open, but...
Oh, no, the air traffic's still there? What if I was going to take a flight?
Well, you could do it.
Oh, okay.
But paychecks across the board are frozen until Congress restores funding. Don't get too scared, my little bureaucrats.
Oh, no.
So what does a shutdown actually mean? You know, we talk about that all the time. What does a shutdown mean? Well, let's say what it doesn't mean. It
doesn't mean the government shut down, I'll tell you that
it's
much.
far from shut down. It doesn't mean the lights go out in the Pentagon. It doesn't mean that Sugar Bee would tell you that. It doesn't mean that airports close.
Thank goodness.
It means the bloated, non-essential bureaucracy hits just a tiny little pause button. And that's a good thing. Offices close, contracts freeze, federal workers are furloughed. And here's the kicker. Again, they all get back pay when all this political nonsense is over.
Oh, no, though. MSNBC says that they're defunding the police. It said it's defunding police.
Sugar Bee, you got to stop watching that.
I'm scared.
Well, it's okay. Just listen to the show. I got you. I got you.
Okay.
All right. So they could call it what, you know what? I'll play along, Sugar Bee. They could call it that. I call it a taxpayer-funded vacation.
Is they still going to get their check if they're not working? I know you said back pay, but does that mean they's going to get paid for all them days they wasn't even working?
You know it.
Oh, no.
It's the government way.
Oh, no.
But don't be fooled. Shutdowns don't equal real spending cuts. That's the sad thing about all this. They're just delays. They're little pauses in the action. The money still flows once Congress restarts the machine. But when we get back, though, I want to talk about how this system could be fixed. You know, we can gripe and moan about it all we want, but don't you think we deserve just a reasonable discussion of possible solutions? I just think that might help. I'll throw some thoughts out there, and I can't wait to hear yours in the segment after. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble. Let me see you over there at Rumble. I appreciate it. Trucatera, what's up, my friend? Steve Vassier. 2 Live crew, love it. Liberty Lover. There we go. Happy hump day. All right, guys, rumble.com. Go check us out. We certainly appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about some solutions. You know, this whole thing, you know, because I've been teasing all week. The Republicans, don't tease me. Don't tease me with this shutdown.
This is the solution.
Well, but we know once they turn the light switch back on and they restore everything.
Not a vote, man. It's exciting.
Just wait.
So excited.
You just wait. Hold on.
All right. I'm gonna go away.
I'm going to tell you solutions, but what's being offered is similar to this, but not all the way, okay? We have an opportunity right here. Imagine if, I'm coming across this as a pragmatic approach, but also policy, so it's going to be different than what maybe Jamie's about to say. But imagine if shutdowns actually triggered mandatory, automatic, permanent spending cuts. And by permanent, meaning Congress would have to reconvene once you're past all this. They'd have to open the government and reappropriate it. You can still do it. If it's the will of the people and you got the funds, by all means. But that is a possible solution here. I'm talking not just pauses. I am talking like permanent reductions. Again, come back in if you want to. Let chew on this little nugget. Every day the government fails to pass a clean bill, 1% across the board cuts kick in across the agencies. I'm just saying. Like, stop talking. Do. Start doing. You do that 1% across the board on agencies every single day. Every day. No exceptions, every single day. Again, open the government if you have the funding. If it's the will of the people to bloat up the government again, reappropriate it, great. We'll see you again in about 7 months. All right, cool. But I'm talking something has to happen. Like, you have to have some teeth here, okay? Now, I know this is common sense, and it ain't common in Washington. I get all that. 1% every single day. Man, if we did that, man, the bureaucrats' head would explode.
We'd be rolling.
They'd be screaming.
Rolling.
Lobbyists would panic. And suddenly Washington would all of a sudden find a little religion.
All of a suddenly.
On passing clean, responsible budgets. So that's how you put teeth into fiscal discipline. Stop talking about it. What I just said, was that did anybody think that was rocket science? And if people, guys, I'm telling y'all, we've been in it. I'm telling y'all, we've heard it all, and we've disproved it all. If you want to see, you have so many people telling you how, well, it's just not that easy.
It's so painfully easy.
It's so painfully easy. Oh. Nancy Reagan had it first. Just say no. Just say no. You want to know, man, I'm not just trying too darn hard, but literally, it's not rocket science. I told y'all that Mayor President's job is the easiest gig I ever had. We literally could do all those projects. It was not hard because we just said, what did we spend last year? Okay, we're not increasing any of that unless we need it. You got to justify it. And then all this surplus stuff, we just did projects that help people. Worked with the council, worked with the folks, you know. Yeah, but that's how you do it. Imagine if you did that in the federal level, zero-based budgeting. What if you did that?
I thought that's what they were doing. But
that's a solution. Now, all right, now hold on though. But let's keep talking because Republicans are not in the wrong here for sure. Because here's the nasty little truth that I know this very learned audience knows. Both parties built this $37 trillion debt. Both parties got us here. Democrats with their permanent entitlement expansions, Republicans who refuse to say no to even defense pork or corporate carve-outs at times. You know, there's corporate welfare, right? Come on. If government is paying your overhead, you ain't in business. That ain't business. And lots of people do great things with those arrangements. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying, I don't got Uncle Sugar paying my overhead. I don't want Uncle Sugar paying. I don't want Uncle Sugar paying my overhead. Uncle Sugar, he don't play right. Too many. I don't like that guy. But right now, Republicans are at least trying to separate essentials from waste. They offered a plan. It would have kept the government open. It would have stopped wasteful spending at least till November. Democrats are holding, Washington Democrats are holding the entire government hostage until they get their little permanent handouts, their little power trips. See, they lose their power that way. You can't pay your partners that way. That's childish. It's dangerous. We know that. Question, though. Families across the country, bud. Folks got to balance their budget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can't spend more than you got.
And if you don't make the mortgage, you don't get a free pass. Things happen.
You might get 1 or 2 months of deferral.
Yeah, maybe. But they don't forgive it.
But no.
Like, Washington, live under the same rules. Just say no. Like, when we say it ain't hard, listen. It's a budget, okay? It ain't hard. It's complicated in the sense that it's a lot. Doesn't have to be. You're just setting the ceiling. Like, you, department, will not spend more than this. And then you run it down the chain. We let bureaucrats run the show. We let the tail wag the dog. And that's not a collective we. That's other folks. All right, maybe it is a collective we.
All right.
But no, there's exceptions. But you guys, right now, we let the bureaucrats tell the higher-ups what to spend. And they tell the politicians, this is what we need, instead of real accountability. But if you had a department head from the top down actually leading, saying, Department of Education, $235 billion, I think, is their budget, 238, give or take, 233 to 238 billion is what I believe, is from memory. Okay, so, hey, Department of Education, your budget is now, what I want to make it is 44 million or 45 million. But regardless, okay, 230 million, you can't spend any more. So there's no debate. There's no, discussion. The only discussion is, what are your priorities? Because we're going to try our best to knock out those. And if we can't knock out all those, I need you to prioritize the priorities and give me reasons. And then I'm just giving you one way to have a leadership style. Then you get an independent thought that gives you objective feedback so that you can make rational decisions on behalf of the folks you are blessed to lead. That's just one way to do it.
One way.
It's effective.
Look, they ought to be chomping at the bit for this shutdown right now, because each day that it's happening, this day that hopefully the debt is going down, the deficit's reduced.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. It all goes back. It all goes back. So whenever we get back, we're going to wrap a bow on this, and because there's more to it than that, Codify it. Solidify it. Do something. All right, guys. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from Acadiana. That's South Louisiana for all our folks outside this great state. We're also broadcasting live in Rumble, rumble.com. Go check us out at Rumble, man. I love it. It's free, by the way. It's for free. Go check us out. You can also chat us on Rumble, and stay tuned. Rest of the week, we're giving away two. We're giving away 2 flag kits.
Well.
Yay!
Yes. Oh.
He didn't know I was about to say that.
I mean.
Hey, but on the second one, I'm going to throw a little twist.
Okay.
I just got to figure out what that twist is in the break.
Yeah, let's talk about that in the break. let's just pump the brakes on all this.
Yay! 2 flag giveaways this week. Oh, and some swag. All right, guys, phone lines are open, 232-1542 outside the Acadiana area, 844-766-6607. And you could call like my dear friend's calling in right now. Mr. Blue Wave, what you got, my friend?
Oh, man. Let me tell you, I heard this your deal yesterday. Hold on, put the video down. I heard y'all yesterday about Jeff Landry. I already told y'all.
You did?
He is a Democrat.
And yeah,
he is a Democrat.
You know, Mr. Blue Wave, when someone's a medical doctor, they kind of know who other medical doctors are. You know, when someone's a lawyer, they kind of can figure out who a lawyer is. Mr. Blue Wave, you're a Democrat, and nobody can identify a Democrat better than a Democrat, right?
Hey, I vote for Jeff Landry.
I did too.
Well, you Democrat vote for
Me
Democrat.
too.
I see. We agree.
Okay.
All right.
I vote on both sides. Okay?
I like it.
Okay?
Well,
and another thing, I always said he's a Democrat.
You have been good. Hey, you were the first one. The first one on the show. You were the first one to say, hey, but we'll see. He's got 2 years left, Mr. Blue Wave. You never know. He may come back to our side. You may have to give him up, Mr. Blue Wave. He's gonna come back to the light, I'm telling you.
Oh, by the way, John Bell Edwards will be back.
Doggone it. All right, Mr. Blue Wave. All right, see, he was about to plug Senator Cassidy, too.
Well, let's...
I love Mr. Blue Wave. Hey,
yeah,
we agree more than we disagree. Yeah. But I like him. We disagree on our votes, but I like that he votes Republican sometimes. We're going to keep listening to this show, and we'll continue to discuss truth.
Yeah, very educational.
All righty. I want to stay on this topic just a little bit longer. So, talking about Washington living under the same rules, all the things. I do want to recognize one little fact here about, President Trump. I mean, he's expressed pretty straightforward, in a straightforward manner. He's ready to sign a clean extension. Like, there's no real games here. You can watch the media and make your own conclusion, okay? But just understand that's through a lens. It's a perception that's being portrayed. You cannot know who someone is or what their thought process is in a 30-second bite. Can't. But, it's all we got sometimes, so you got to do the best you can. And to the media's credit, the media has to do the best it can, giving them a lot of benefit of the doubt there. Republicans are offering to fund the government right now. Now, I don't like the omnibus bills that we passed under Democrat rule. We did what the Democrats are doing now, just throwing that one out there. But you see what I'm saying? So if we want to know why we're here, it's not the Democrats. It's not the Republicans. It's the Democrats and the Republicans. I'm just telling you some facts here. Why is it when President Biden was the president, we're okay doing what the Democrats are doing? Matter of fact, then they said, yeah, no problem. And we kept it open.
Hey, what's it matter now, though? What? Senate just adjourned
until
Friday.
Hold on. Oh, dang. I was going to... I saw it in my corner of my... Oh. It's good, man. I'm wearing my glasses.
Well, see... Should have led with that.
I should have led with it. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry.
But you see how seriously they're taking this?
Dude, this is such a joke. Hey, 1% every day, that would be a 3% cut. Am I doing the math right?
Look,
if you count today, that's a 3% cut.
As of now, anyone who gets military troops would lose their paycheck starting on the 15th. Now they're going to get that back, and they're going to. happened before.
Yes.
But don't let them scare you. They're going to come out with all these scare tactics. Oh, no. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
We can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. He gets it, by the way. But in this particular moment, the reality is the Republicans' plan in Washington, the Washington Republicans, have offered a very clean, fiscally responsible way to keep the government open for another month or two so that we can have these same silly little discussions. Again, not if you did the plan I just said, which includes, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican up there. Bureaucracy is bipartisan. Y'all with me on that? I mean, like, come on now. 1% a day, permanent cuts across the agencies or across the federal government. Let's do that. 1%. 1%. So that would be 3%. Hey, Senate, see you later.
You think that they're like, hey, the government shut down. Everyone else is not working
right
and getting
now,
paid. Why don't we go home and get paid?
Yeah, but all the cuts that are happening right now will come right back. They're going to come right back.
Not all of them.
Well,
Not all of them.
okay, well, maybe we could talk about that. I'll let you inform the folks because I want to make sure I'm on this. No, I'm with you. I want to make sure I'm on the same page. And if it's something way that I'm not thinking about, I'm going to laugh. But anywho, what we need is real teeth here. What if we had a mechanism in place that automatically cut spending permanently, not temporarily, for like one way is every day that goes by, it's a 1% cut. Congress can actually do. Did y'all know Congress can do that? It's crazy. The Constitution lets them tax and spend, and they know how to do both very well. Did you know that, though? They could do this. So just do it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Say the alternative plan.
Well, I just know that there was some measures put in place by Congress that when something like this happens, it empowers the director of the Office of Budget and Management, or Management and OMB, Russ Vogt, to be able to cut and permanently cut certain positions, certain
non-essential
discretionary programs.
Yeah.
And those, in effect, become permanent if he cuts them during that. That's why the White House has been saying prepare folks for layoffs, because if they're in these programs that are not necessary, they're going bye-bye and they're not coming back.
What's the status of that legislation?
Oh, it's already, it's long been passed.
It passed the Senate and the House?
Whatever, the OMB rule, that's an old,
that's an old rule.
Yeah.
Oh, see, this is another example of Trump's legal team doing a good job. He has used existing law.
Joe had a great breakdown on his show yesterday.
Yeah. I didn't, okay, I'll have to go listen. That is very interesting, bud. Yeah, I had heard something, so that wasn't what I was thinking, but
hey,
it's another tool. Now, imagine if Congress went one step further and said, in addition to this one person, and I have so many thoughts on that, right? I'm going to go straight to my thoughts on that. The Supreme Court has ruled that the president doesn't have line item veto. That's one person, not the body, making scratches through the budget and taking piecemeal out, okay? What's the difference between that and this one unelected person? Number one. Number two, what you're talking about is an executive function. That Congress doesn't have an executive function. You could argue they are entitled to administrative under the necessary and proper clause. They need these employees to do their legislative function, all that stuff. But Congress usually gives their power away. That's why they're the talk branch. They need all this bureaucracy. Their power is really with the bureaucracy. I mean, congressmen spend most of not congressmen themselves necessarily, but their staff spends most of their time navigating through the federal government. And that's not a bad use of their time, okay? But it doesn't have to be that complicated. And if we shrunk government, not past what hey, here's a crazy thought. What if we really did just look at the Constitution, say, let's just list what the functions of the federal government are. Let's just remind ourselves what does the Constitution say? If we're constitutional conservatives. I've heard that term. Who says that? Oh, anyway. All right. So, what if we just listed? I'm gonna meet the establishment where they're at. Just give me 30 seconds.
Oh, let me pause it then.
What if we listed just the functions of the federal government in the Constitution? I'm gonna meet them where they're at, and then we use the amount of the budget that you passed, and we just focus that amount on that function, those functions. Do you know how solid and efficient our government would be? Here's another thought. What if we only did half and we gave the other half back to the folks? All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. I got solutions today. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live on rumble.com. Let's go see us over there. Also broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning back in. Let's talk about this topic from a different angle. So, we got one congressman, Ralph Norman of South Carolina. I wonder if him and Senator Graham talk.
South Kakalaki.
What would that conversation be like? That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Where'd you get your shoes from? That's some nice shoes.
So, Congressman Norman of South Carolina has not introduced, he's reintroduced. He reintroduced a proposal for a constitutional amendment that would dock lawmakers' pay during government shutdowns. All right, so Norman's saying that it's wrong that during shutdowns, federal workers are told to do more with less while Congress keeps collecting paychecks. If we stopped right there, everybody would say, that sounds like common sense. Common sense. Now, let me give a disclaimer, though. I do have to give, I have a bias built in me on this one. I'm very sensitive on the Constitution, very sensitive on amendments, and I love the fact that the Constitution is basically, 27 times it's been amended, but really it's 18 times because the first 10 came all at once. First 10 came at once. So, anywho, I got some other thoughts on this. Let's carry on, shall we? If we stopped right there, though, like Congress, not fair. You're collecting a paycheck. All these other guys, they got to do more with less. We'd probably all agree. His amendment would stop all pay for members of Congress during shutdowns, like zero, and no back pay. So it's something there. All right. Now, no back pay, nothing. Several Republicans are co-sponsoring. You got Bob, I butcher his name, Latta of Ohio. Jack Bergman of Michigan. You got Crane over there in Arizona. Mills in Florida. Dusty Johnson of South Dakota. And reasonable people from Pennsylvania. We keep highlighting that. That's John Joyce. So the language says, a representative or a senator may not receive compensation for any period when a shutdown is in effect, defined as a lapse in appropriation for any federal agency, any federal agency or department. It also gives Congress the power to enforce this article through legislation. All right, you follow me so far? So his plan, now again, this is another example where take the process out. I think we all agree with where we want to land on that. I think that's a great idea. Great idea. Add that to what I said earlier. We'll do them both. Okay? That's really good, really good. And this is a very, for that to happen the way that the congressman is saying, for that to become law, constitutional law, two-thirds of both chambers would have to pass it, okay? Just start with that. And then 3/4 of the states would have to ratify. That's a very steep hill. I don't know if we ever see another constitutional amendment in our country, just because of our divide. We can't agree on. And this is the supreme law of the land now. Be careful. We can tell you that in Louisiana. We use our Constitution in Louisiana. It's only been in effect since 1974. We use that Constitution as a book of statutes, but those are special statutes because they outrank the other statutes. They don't call them statutes, but that's what they are, glorified statutes. So we don't want to treat our federal Constitution that way. It sets the framework. We tried that before. Look at Prohibition. Yeah, you had to repeal that one. That's an example of the leaders in Washington wanting to use the most absolute extreme tool to achieve what is essentially the will of the people at the time. And that's okay if it changes because that's just what happens. That's okay. That's why we have representatives. That's why we have statutes. That's why our founders were so smart in limiting the federal government. And where the federal government does have a duty, they give it the supreme power. Nothing outranks it in the country. That's why our country was so strong over the years, because it empowered not to be corny, but empowered freedom. It empowered decisions in government to mostly be made at the local level, which is exactly where it should be. In the local level, most of the time, that mayor gets out and about naturally, not staged. And they get around and they hear an earful. Trust me. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing. But they know what's going on. And I'll tell you this, they know when they made a bad decision too. One, they feel it. Two, they hear about it. And the people they work with, the council, they're in it with you. Like, that's where the rubber meets the road. And if you love Democrat policies, move to a Democrat city. But I promise you this, the policies that come out of that city and the policies that come out of a Republican city, probably about 90% the same. Because most people want the same thing. So then, if we have local governments just taking care of the folks, that lets states handle the bigger picture. Who knows more about your neighborhood, your mayor or your governor? Of course, your mayor. Well, it should. I can't speak for everybody, genuinely. So these are just basic tenets of conservatism. And whenever we highlight some, I have a concern. Now, look, I have like 5 seconds, but I'm going to tell you, I applaud this congressman, so I'm not beating up on him. I'm just on my high horse on on constitutional integrity, if that means anything to anybody, and I think it does. And as conservatives, it's so easy for us to press the easy button.
Easy peasy.
Same thing for Democrats. So anyway, all right, guys, stick around. Hour number 2. It's going to be great. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. That light threw me off. That's okay.
All right.
Oh, usually on my A game with that. It's all good. We're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios. And I also see you over there, Rumble folks. I love it. Thank you so much. Go join us at rumble.com. Nice little healthy switch there. Okay, or switch. I'm looking at kill switch. Nice healthy chat. All right, good deal, Lucille. Let's move on to another topic. Man, I actually looked at a PBS article. Yep. Matt Loffman. Okay. I like to reference those in case the folks want to go see it. That might be important. All right. Well, he has a PBS, NPR, and a Mare poll. How do you say that? M-A-R-I-S. Mare. I got it. Maris.
Maris poll.
Maris. PBS, NPR, Maris poll showing that nearly a third of Americans, 30% in this poll, 30%, 3 out of 10, say that violence may be necessary to get the country back on track. Whew. 3 out of 10. That's harsh. Now, that number is up sharply from 19% just a year and a half ago, just 18 months ago. The biggest increase came from Democrats, according to this poll, and this is, not necessarily conservative leaning institutions that ran this poll. They say 28% of Democrats in the poll now say violence might be necessary. That's up 16 points.
That's disgusting.
But we're the fascists.
Oh, no. Not violence. Love is key.
But really, I thought that was the party of peace. I thought did they have the summer of love in 2020? Burning things?
It's summer of love when we're all
That's
trapped in our houses with masks on.
They said it was a summer of love.
Summer of...
Summer of burning?
I love the smell of the tar.
You can't have a peaceful protest without burning something.
There's just something that just about the smell that just brought you home.
So 3 out of 10 Americans, according to this poll, say, yeah, violence may be necessary. Not violence is likely. Say violence may be necessary to get our country back on track. That's 28% increase in Democrats, 28% Democrats, 16-point increase. Republicans ticked up 3 points. Independents rose by 7 points. So, hey, the backdrop is a string of violence this year. We've seen it. Look at Charlie. Look at the assassination of Charlie Kirk less than a month ago. Look at the murder of the Democrat state legislator and her husband, which was a left-leaning guy shooting Democrats, which I never understood because she didn't go far enough. Wow.
That's the answer.
Yeah. What about the attack on the governor's mansion over there in Pennsylvania? 2 assassination attempts on President Trump during the 2024 campaign. We just forget that happens, I guess. One came pretty close. At the same time, 62% of Americans say the country is headed in the wrong direction. See, there's some agreement there. It's more than 50%. But 62% say we're headed in the wrong direction. And if you look at it, it's not hard to change it. I mean, really, if you think about it, stop spending more money we don't have. So we need to do that. Get our national, our fiscal responsibility back. And we have got to restore power at the most local level as we possibly can. And I say that's the family. So you need to get as close as you can to the family. Well, realistically speaking, that's usually your local government. But even then, local governments try not to overstep. If we do that, like we want to be cute and say freedom, we want freedom. Well, if you want it, that is a route. That's how you get it back. Because it's the same people getting us there. The elites don't, man, listen, They don't care about no party. They care about power and what comes with that. Okay? But we're letting the same elite Washington establishment continue to run our national deficit, our debt just up and up and up. When it's a very common answer, or it's a very easy answer. Get our fiscal house in order, shrink the federal government, and empower states, empower local governments. You will get such a better product. Because if those guys fail, they're going to feel it so quickly, so quickly. And some won't be bold, some won't be brave, and all that's going to mean is government will run stale. And then that'll have consequences, but at such a more manageable rate, at a much manageable pace, and just easier to manage, local level. So us conservatives, we got to be careful. Be careful what we ask for, like bringing in the national, asking Washington to come police your cities and do so with the military. Now, in the same breath, we got Pete Hegseth saying we're bringing the military back to war fighters, train, harden killers. Say what you want about that, but that's how you have an effective military. Pete Hegseth's right. Well, that's what I want the military doing. But when I got 15 to 17, I don't know how many thousand badges in the state of Louisiana, I don't know. I don't need Big Brother to come in here and tell me how to do my job. Because it may feel good right now because we're fighting crime. Well, you already have the resources. It may feel good now, but it will not feel good when you have a Democrat president and a Democrat governor or a rhino that wants to request the federal government to come in here and keep you from your churches. All in the interest of public emergency. I wonder if that's ever happened, though. Surely, that's so crazy. That never would happen, would it? That's so far. It did? Wow. Crazy. What if, thank God, John Bel Edwards, Governor Edwards, did not have the precedent that Governor Landry's about to start.
Ooh, you scared me. You said, thank God and John Bel Edwards.
No,
I
thank God he didn't have that precedent because I'm telling you, man.
I almost got the foie.
Can y'all imagine? Can you imagine?
Oh, no.
Like, wow, man. So it's not about the results. There's usually multiple ways to achieve an outcome. Usually. There's very few ways that you can only do it one way. Very few things that this is only one way you can do it. All right?
Boy, but if those don't work the first time, violence is sure a nifty alternative. That's easy, huh?
Well, you brought me back on topic. I was gonna go with don't abandon our principles.
Oh, well, I'm just saying.
But you're getting me back on topic. I appreciate that.
These people try one thing, it don't work, then they just go kill people.
And that's the sentiment. That's where we're at right now, and this poll shows that. So I'm coming back. Thank you.
Well, you want to go to break and then we can come back?
Yeah, we're going to talk about this poll a little bit more and what that means. And stick around, guys.
We'll open up the phones because it's Wednesday.
Phone lines are open when we get back. Yes. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Acadiana. That's South Louisiana for you folks outside this wonderful, wonderful state. And we're broadcasting live on Rumble. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the dialogue. All our people over there. Let's go. Yeah, man, even Killswitch saying, Renee, lay it on us.
We got Justin.
All right, let's go straight to the phone lines. Justin, what you got, Justin? Thanks for calling in, bub.
Hey, I got a sensible question for you.
Yes.
So, Mike Johnson, knowing that he needed some Democrats to vote for this, wouldn't it have made more sense to, one, negotiate with them? And my main negotiating point would have been, okay, y'all want the Obamacare subsidies to continue? Let's continue them for the 7 weeks that Johnson is already asking for. Why was that not a sensible negotiation?
So that, hey, look, Justin, stay on real quick. That's look, if you go into it in good faith and bring that to the table and you have a discussion on that, because you do bring a good point, in my opinion, on the 7 weeks thing. It's just how do we handle that? Because I'll tell you, if you told me, and at the end of the 7 weeks, that'll give us enough time to cut the deficit this way, and we won't have to be in this situation a year from now, I bet you a lot of Republicans would agree with you. But that would require agreeing with someone that's registered in a different party, which is silly. We used to have bipartisanship, and we used to have fiscal budgets. Look at the 90s. That was Republican and Democrat working together. They may not have wanted you to think that way. But anyway, so Justin, yeah, that's what I think. I mean, what do you think about that?
No, I think that it worked with Clinton and Gingrich.
Yeah.
Two people from opposite parties. Why the hell can't we get back to that on everything?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Sit down. We're not going to agree on everything, but let's get the country back on the right path.
Yep. I got you. Thanks, Justin, I appreciate that. Hey, a thought on that. He asked a good question. Why can't we? Why can't we get back to that? I will give you my thoughts on that. It's my opinion. I think I'm right.
Sorry.
So before in the 1990s, we still had this precedent called line item veto. Congress passed a law and said the President of the United States, when presented with a budget or spending bill, has the power to take his pen and literally scratch it out, line item veto. Don't veto the whole thing. Just veto what you don't like. I believe that is a wonderful tool. Governors have it. Most mayors have that, or a lot of mayors have that. It's a wonderful tool because we can agree to disagree on what we spend the money on. As President Obama said, elections have consequences. So, yeah, they do. But one thing we should always be able to agree on. Don't spend more money than you have. I'm not saying you don't go out there and get debt responsibly, but we can't even service our debt right now. I mean, without going into more debt, it seems like. But the interest on that is so deep. You had something, sir.
Oh, no, I was just going to say LSU Andy says the Democrat Party is full of filth and hate.
Woo!
And then we have, Big Nut in Bro Bridge. How about this thought? Y'all say if Trump sends in the National Guard that the Dems would do it if and when they're back in power. I think the Dems will do it regardless. Just my thoughts. What y'all think?
Yeah, it's that's fair to think big time. I hope we're not, to answer this question, this is my hope. I hope that we have not crossed that line of departure. I have hope we have not gone so far that there's no coming back. But I'll tell you this. I don't care what Democrats do. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a Republican. I care what Republicans do, and when they're in charge. I care about Republicans who have super majorities and who claim to be constitutional conservatives of that, whatever that means, because it doesn't seem like it upholds the Constitution, that's for sure. Labels don't mean anything. But that's my thoughts on that. I have a problem with that. So,
I bet Charlie probably does too.
Charlie understands. Hey, just be that campaign conservative when you're in office. What, Charlie? What you think over there in Youngsville, where life is sweeter?
Hey, are we still kind of on the shutdown?
We can be.
I kind of got in a little.
Yeah, what you got?
Well, you brought up a point. 1% diminishing. Of
Yeah. Every day.
The budget or whatever.
Yeah, every day the
Why don't we
government
do
shut
that
down. Yep.
Yeah, won't we do that to some of their salaries? I bet they'll get off their butt.
Yeah. Hey, 1% every day of the federal budget, and which includes the salary of elected officials. Yes.
Yes. Wait. Not only that, every day it don't come back. They don't get back pay. That's where it stops.
Permanent.
That's where it stops.
Yeah. Agreed.
Got my vote.
Yeah, amen. And look, and they can do that, Charlie. That's what's aggravating. Hey, thanks for calling, Charlie. That's what's frustrating, is that Congress could do that right now. You don't need a constitutional amendment. Just like the government don't need the National Guard. And if you do need it, activate them. It's your guard. But we don't want to invite the federal government in when we don't have to. My goodness. Hey, my fellow conservatives, do we not think the federal government's in our life enough? And we just want to open but it's to fight crime. Well, didn't Pete Hegseth say we're creating war fighters? Like trained to kill? Mentality needs to change. Stop dyeing your hair, growing your beards, and failing PT tests. Yeah, I like that. I like the Secretary of War. I like the Secretary of War a lot. And I like his vision for war fighters. That dude's the man right now. I had when he first was announced, I was like, ooh, I don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah, you and me both.
But boy, he has impressed me. Man. And I just love the culture. But that culture is to go out. Let me tell you what that culture does. And this might sound crazy. This might sound like I'm going too much. That culture is designed to train people to not act in a way that's normal, that society actually rejects. Military warfighters are trained to literally go engage and kill people, engage and destroy the enemy. Matter of fact, these guys go through something so intense, it's called basic training, that it literally is designed to break these people down, rebuild them, and develop them into what I just described. Lethal warriors, not trained to shoot to miss. These are like stone cold disciplined killers. Do you want that mentality patrolling your streets? Because let me tell you, I have my personal experience with that. I was in the National Guard. I was on active duty too, but I was in the National Guard. So when I was overseas, I was in a National Guard unit. We were activated. And most of the time, when you leave theater, like, hey, bud, when you left theater, you didn't bring your weapon back, right?
I did.
You did? No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
We did.
Really? Well, you're one of the first units I've ever talked to that's done that.
To be fair, we were also transporting classified material.
Oh, that's different. I'm talking about your regular folks. Us grunts, okay? They took our weapons away for a reason, all right? But we actually turned, at least my unit did, we turned in our weapons, okay? And do y'all know that I actually received a warning order? Because Hurricane Katrina was hitting at the time. And we didn't really know what was going on. We saw like clips every once in a while, But the story that was told to us was well, you know what was reported.
Pandalarium.
Absolutely. And do you know I got a warning order saying be prepared to basically occupy New Orleans. I will tell you what was said in my personal meeting, and it was be prepared to invade them. That's what I got.
That's what the governor said at the time.
That's what the governor was saying. Now, that's not the order that was given me. Okay, I didn't get any orders, but a warno is usually followed by an order. Okay, so and we were issued our weapons back, just in case we had to flex to New Orleans. Now, let me tell you, I know what mentality I was in, coming straight, and it was no yellow ribbon 18-month demobilization back then. All right, so you have it now, so you can argue against what I'm about to say. But I know the mentality of a warfighter. And those rules of engagement, there's no constitution when you're fighting a war. Like, there's no civil liberties. You're actually trained to violate people's civil liberties. You're actually you're trained to create havoc, to create chaos. And we have won wars doing that for a long time. And that's the reality. So just the idea of an American, take away Republican or Democrat, just the idea of an American leader at the state or local level wanting to, A, invite the federal government in, and B, knowing you have civilian law enforcement right at your disposal. Your option is to go straight to the National Guard. Now, there's a place for the National Guard, clearly. We got Title 10 federal, we got Title 32 state, which is if the governor wants to activate the Guard, activate them. It's your National Guard. But now, this is just philosophy. I just don't think your first step is bringing military personnel, especially under the great culture that Secretary Hegseth is doing. He's doing a great job. And the governor did a good job with Troop NOLA. Do more of that. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Acadiana. Also broadcasting live on Rumble. Let me see you over there. It's rumble.com. You just go on there, look up the Josh Guillory Show, and you can check us out. All right, and it's free. Let's go to the phone lines. Man, my favorite. And we'll talk about the NVIDIA CEO.
Very good, very good.
It's not NVIDIA.
NVIDIA.
All right, guys, let's see your caller. You're live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yep, that's you, sir.
Is that me?
That's you. What's your name?
Hey,
Where are you calling
Vince. I'm from New Iberia.
All right, Vince.
You're talking about using the Guard as police forces and everything, and I haven't heard anybody talk about, and I wonder if there's been any discussion. If the military or Guard comes in and makes a bunch of arrests like they did in Washington, what happens in a couple of weeks when the liberal judges and district attorneys don't charge them and turn them back loose?
Yeah, you know, Yeah, and that's always the struggle. That's always the battle. That's why these Senate elections are so important. They're the ones that confirm, and so are the presidential elections. Hey, good, Vince, good thoughts, man. Thanks for calling in, brother. I appreciate that.
Hey, at least they're off the streets for a few weeks.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I got you now. If your goal, if you're okay with using the National Guard, get off of what I just said about war fighters and all that, which I believe to be very accurate. Okay, very accurate. But even if you disagree with me and you say no, I think National Guard troops are needed, and they need to, at least, maybe they won't make the arrest, maybe they only help the officers. There's a way, to do it if that's your thing. What I'm saying is how we do it really matters here. How and first, can we just say this? In any decision that a leader needs to make, he or she should do this. First thing, after you know the situation, what are my options? You got to know where you're at. What are my options? One option here for the Louisiana governor, if he wants that, is to simply activate the National Guard. They answer to him. This is not a situation like Portland or Detroit or San Francisco or Washington, D.C. This is not that. In those situations, there actually is an imminent threat.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The mayor or the governor refuses to act on the threat. It's using their own National Guard. It's for in a limited scope for a limited time. That's a lot of restrictions and a lot of litmus tests that have to be met. But going back to Louisiana, there's not an imminent threat of crime in the governor's own words that crime is getting better. Well, good. And I'll applaud the governor on this. He created Troop NOLA, and that was a wonderful focus of civilian law enforcement that answers to the governor. Consolidated those resources around the threat, or around the situation, which is New Orleans at the time. And that was wonderful. Hey, do more of that. Fantastic. And if it really is about money, which is so silly because we pay that too, then talk to your partner in Washington. Get the president to declare a national emergency that New Orleans is, or wherever, is all this. You respond to it, and you submit your reimbursements to. I mean, if you need to, now you get with your legal team to see all your options. But my point is, this is a local function. This is at minimum not a national function. Here in Louisiana, there's no imminent threat. Okay, this is law enforcement. This is law enforcement. What? Well, do we want war fighters in the military? I get it. We got MPs, but they're not. They're military police. That's a different.
And it's a very small. There not very many in the National Guard. In our National Guard, it can't be about. It can't be about money, Josh, because
that's so dumb. That's the dumbest reason. That does not justify. Oh, the federal government's. Hey, bud, it's okay. The federal government's paying for it.
But for what? Paying for what? We're not getting this money. That money's going to be spent on these. These National Guard soldiers are going to get the money, but they're also probably going to be getting less money than they would be if their butts were at their jobs. Like, it's stupid. We're not going to get. They're not just going to give us money.
It's probably going to be volunteer. I'm sure it'll be volunteer.
It's not going to fill the state's coffers. Like that money's spent unnecessarily. It's a waste. It's such a waste.
Okay. So you want to accomplish a goal, and that goal is admirable. You want to fight crime. I'm serious. Hey, thank you. Thank you for making it a priority. That's wonderful. Okay. Again, got a great example of what this current administration has done, and that's a good thing. Troop NOLA. I got you, man. I got you. But we all want to fight crime. So if you want to fight crime, why don't you first evaluate what you have available to you? So, what municipality are you looking at that has concerns? What do they have? Where are they short? Then you just supplement it. This is not hard. This is politics. This is not hard. Is anything I'm saying hard?
I'm just real excited that both of our kids are going to be in a city where there's going to be soldiers patrolling.
Yeah, amen.
Like,
but
what is this? North Korea?
Yeah. So again, when you're right there and you got to make this decision, okay, and you just evaluate what you have. How many law enforcement officers do you have in this state? 15 to 17,000, I think. You got almost 1,000 state troopers, I believe. Am I right on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Make more troop NOLAs. Recruit. I mean, I can't believe I have to explain this. Like, this is,
if these state troopers got time to park their little Escalades or whatever they drive in their Suburbans over there by I-10 at I-49, and they can park side by side and visit with each other.
Come on, that's not what they're doing.
Well, I'm just saying there's two of them right there oftentimes. Like, then it ain't that serious. Like, they ain't that busy, y'all. Get out of here with that.
Let's go to Renee. He knows. Renee, what you got, buddy?
Well, one of the biggest problems is most of the people, like y'all, complain about the FBI. They go to college. They'll complain about the politicians. They go to college.
Mm-hmm.
College is paid for by the government. I mean, they should, at least if it's paid for by the government, it's not your own funds. At least they should have loyalty pledge to the government, and they should have a as-needed job classes. If that position's needed, maybe a few extras, then you go to the class for the job. Because if the government's paying for it, not have the damn class show up for public humanities or whatever, liberal arts, communist, comrade, transformer, in outer space, transgender courses.
Well,
sorry, I
man,
thought
you hung up on Renee.
The word that came out sounded like
I
was just trying to stay ahead.
Hey, I got what Renee's saying though. Okay, all right.
I got scared.
I will say that as far as the education, I didn't know where he was going at first, but I think what he's saying is if the government is paying for it, there's a public interest that we want our folks to be educated. If the folks have the capacity to learn, the desire to learn, but here's the key. I think what Renee was trying to say, or what he did say, the government's paying this on behalf of the best interest of the public. So at the time, what does the public need? And to his point, well, go to your call. What you got?
I was just
what do you got?
Told me to point when there's callers.
I lost my thought. Go ahead. I lost my thought. Right. Distracted the heck out of me. All right. I see all that.
All right, then.
Okay. Caller, you're live on the Josh Killer Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, that's Lorenzo.
All right, Lorenzo. What you got, buddy?
Hey, you said if we get a rhino governor? So look, if your first instinct is always to do exactly what the Democrats would do, why are you saying you're a Republican? I mean, no, look. Yeah. So Jeff Landry, and it's a shame because he's probably got a brain as sharp as Ted Cruz, but he's got an accent like swamp people,
What?
But he's smart enough to know that as a Democrat, he couldn't win office in Louisiana. And that's why he's a Republican. Not because he believes in what we believe in, but because he's smart enough to know he'll never get elected.
Man, I certainly appreciate that. I will say this, though. If you ever look at his history, very conservative, I guess, positions, okay? And I'm going to say this with respect, and I don't mean disrespect by it for sure. But he's been in Congress, and he's been in the Attorney General's office. And again, this is going to sound so bad, but I don't mean it to be. Those are both top branches. They're not executive. I mean, you can argue, oh, no, the AG is an executive. Yeah, okay, you're a constitutional officer. You have people that answer to you. You have a function of an executive authority. I get it. You're not the executive. You're not the chief executive officer. You're not the executive branch, okay? But my point on this is talking noise and governing are two different things. It's not hard. It's not always peachy and rosy governing like a conservative. It's not difficult. It's actually easy, but it doesn't make it peaceful all the time. But man, boy, we could sue a lot of people on conservative issues. How much money does that cost, by the way? All right, let's see here. All right, caller, you were live on the Josh Giller Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Daryl. I'm from Lafayette.
Hey, Daryl, what you got, buddy? Thanks for calling in.
We got 64 parishes in Louisiana. How come we haven't heard anything but the sound of crickets from all the sheriffs of our parishes about the proposal to bring in the National Guard to do police work? Thank you.
Ooh, dang, Darren, that's bud, I haven't thought about that. That's
a good question.
That's a very good question. I would say, sheriffs. My observation, I loved working with the sheriff that I served with, Mark Garber. I thought he did a wonderful job. So, I have the benefit of having worked with a solid guy that was a good teammate. So, that's my experience. But and I know a lot of Kip, the same, all the ones. I don't want to leave anybody out. Yeah, all the guys. Okay, you're doing a great job. One observation, political observation. These guys are smart.
Mm-hmm.
They're savvy, and here's why they're savvy. They don't have to talk much to do their job, and the good ones know that. So they don't pick fights they don't need to pick politically.
Keep it local.
Yeah, keep it local. And I am sure they have issue with that. But you got to remember, this is none of what the governor's saying has substance. Respectfully, this is not about fighting crime. It's not. It's really not.
It's a showboat.
It's all about that. It's all about being aligned with Trump, but you're doing it in a way that is setting a precedent that is the opposite of conservatism. You are setting a precedent where you're just inviting the federal government into your backyard to do functions that you're responsible with your resources. Like, are you hearing this out loud? Has anybody told the governor of Louisiana what I just said?
Maybe he's listening.
No, listen to me, Inner Circle. You have a duty. Have you told the governor what I just said? Because that's a very common sense statement. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for sticking around. Wellness Wednesday right around the corner. Be careful out there. May God bless you.